Hello. I am going to be doing a quick tutorial on how to sculpt heads for VR chat. And I don't think there's too many videos. The only other video that there is pretty older. It still works, but I just wanted to make my own tutorial on how to do things. And yeah, so this is how I sculpt my commercial models, my personal models, and just sculpting in general. So the first thing you're going to be doing when you're sculpting is you're immediately going to want to separate things so that way things don't get deformed in the process of you sculpting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the head mesh and I'm going to tab. And I already have the eyebrows separated. The first thing that you are going to do when you're separating things so that way they don't get deformed when you're sculpting is you are going to go in and you are going to press on the head mesh and you're going to hit the tab key. You can see all of my hotkeys on the right side here, and you are going to press L and hover over the vertices of the thing that you are selecting. And with the eyebrows, you are going to press P and you're going to do selection. And so now the eyebrows are a separate thing, a separate mesh. The next thing that you are going to do is you are going to grab the lashes, the 3D lashes, and you're also going to separate those. For me, I don't really separate these, but at some point you will, because sometimes they get a little too deformed and you have to make them look pretty clean. The very necessary thing that you're going to have to do, the first thing that I immediately do is I zoom into the teeth right here in the mouth of the head, and I'll press tab again. And these are the teeth and the tongue. So you're going to hover over the tongue, press L, and you're going to hover over the teeth as well. Top teeth, bottom teeth, and then you're going to, again, P, selection. So now your mouth is, separate, so that way we don't deform that as well. The third absolutely necessary thing that you separate are the eyes. So for Amelia head, they kind of had this weird separated eyeball, but you're going to grab the eye whites and the eyeballs and you're going to P selection. I'm not very good at explaining things as I used to be, or at all.
I want to take a second just to say that was
try.
So not good self-esteem coming out, but you know what I really meant to say was hopefully I can do better to explain, but fuck it, we ball. Also, this is me editing the clip. I'm self-judging myself so incredibly hard. Anyways, continuing on. Very good at explaining things as I used to be, or at all, but hopefully I can try. Now, when it comes down to it, I don't have the lashes and stuff separated. You can by, hovering over all the lashes and just constantly pressing L, and then P by selection, but obviously I don't do that. If you want to join the things back onto the head, you click on the mesh that you separated, click the mesh, control join, control J. But in this case, I'm not going to be doing that with the eyebrows. I'm going to keep them separated. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into sculpt mode. And usually what I do first is I will right click and I will bring the strength down, but I will use the tool elastic deform first. I will bring the strength down to at least like 250 or 270, it doesn't matter.
as long as it's not 500. It's very, very strong if you leave it on 500. Radius is just how much you pull, like how much of the area you're grabbing. And strength is obviously the strength of what you're gonna deform the face. So, usually what I do for my head sculpts and stuff, I do it on a shape key. So you're gonna go into this little data modifier property thing, triangle with the 3 dots, and you're gonna press the little key, the little plus sign, and you're gonna have it as another key. I normally rename mine as like edit or name it whatever you want to name it so you remember. And I'll do this all in a shape key so that way if I don't end up liking the sculpt, I can always just delete it. Even when we're happy with it, I can just show you how to keep it permanent. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to start to play with the eye shape. Another helpful thing is to play with the shape keys that are already on the head sculpt. So usually what I'll do is I will, if I want to mess with the eyes, there's already eyes and stuff. Turn off whatever you've done first though. So like if I want the eyes to be a certain length or if I want the eyes to be edited, there's some presets that some creators do. And I will be doing this because I genuinely really find these helpful, as do a lot of people. So I'm going to be playing with these for a second. And then, of course, if you want to play with your brows and stuff, you absolutely can. There's way more than just the stuff I'm playing with currently. If all of your stuff is already separated, the blend shapes are not going to affect it when you're on the regular face mesh. So be like sure to join them all together when you play with the shape keys. But obviously, I will play with all my parts by myself and not use all of the blend shape keys. I will be going through only the ones that I feel that is absolutely necessary to go through. And when you found something that you want to keep permanent on the model rather than sliding it up and down, that you want there to be just on default, let's say that you want the lips to be rounded, just every time permanent, you go down to this down arrow and you go all the way down to apply selected shape to bases. Also, by the way, I'm using Blender 4.1.1. I don't know what Blender doesn't allow you to have it like that, but that's my version of Blender. So I'm going to keep on playing with these. Okay, now that I'm done playing with it, I'm going to actually start sculpting the face. So when you go into sculpt mode, make sure to have it in the radius that you want. To change the radius automatically is F, and just hover out, left, right, whatever. Do it the way that you want it to, and you're just gonna start left clicking and dragging. Make sure that you are on your shape key and that it's set to 1. And so you'll start playing on that shape key. And if it's not at 1 and it's at 0, you won't be able to play with it. So now I'm going to just start clicking and dragging and playing with the face. To do more intense sculpting, you're gonna grab the grab tool, which is this. It's like a little nub a little, yeah, it's just a little nub, and it'll say to grab when you hover over it, and you're just gonna set this to at least 270 or 250, and you can play with the face even more than you already are. It's harsher than the elastic deform, and it grabs all the vertices and stuff. As you can see, it's very harsh when you pull too hard, so just be careful. And if you want to edit the eyebrows while they're separated, you can go into sculpt mode and you can click the mesh, go into sculpt mode and just start grabbing them. But make sure that your X tool or your mirror, your butterfly right here is on, or else it will not mirror what you do. And if you want to edit the eye whites, you would hover over it and you would do L, L, and P. Grab the eye whites and go into sculpt mode and turn on your mirror tool and just start dragging it out. I know it looks a little silly right here. You can go back and obviously fix it if you don't want that problem. Just join both of those little eyeballs, go into sculpt mode, mirror, and just go ham. And if you want to round things out or make them like bigger, grab the inflate tool, and you can leave it at 500 if you want to. Just be careful when you use it. And I do not like these little nostrils on the Amelia nose, so I'm going to go in tab mode, edit mode, press tab, and I'm going to select all these faces with my shift key. Shift click all of these little vertices. Obviously have your X symmetry on, and you are going to G and up move it. I am just going to leave it like that, so that way it looks more human, and I'm going to play with the nose some more. And when you're done with that, obviously I'm pretty happy with how mine came out. Sure, you might have to do some finishing touches if you would want. With me, I'll usually build upon it, and if I don't really like it that first day that I did it, you can always go back and do like the whole separating process and obviously go back. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to remove these eyes because I actually enjoy Savvy Eyes more from the Savvy Head by Zympia. I'm actually going to go ahead and hide these for now, and I'm going to import the Savvy Eyes. And I'm going to drag these Savvy Eyes into the head. I'm not going to put in the bones. You can put in the bones. I usually do not, though. And if you want to, it's not hard. And as you can see, these don't quite fit, so I'm going to go into tab mode. I'm going to grab the vertices, one of them, press G, and turn on this proportional editing. And I'm going to turn on the symmetry and just start playing with them, so that way they fit. You're going to have to drag in, though, with your cursor wheel, so that way you can change the radius of how much you are exactly playing with. I'm going to leave it like that for now, and you're going to grab an eye texture and you're going to put it on top of the Savvy Eye. So this is what the Savvy Eyes look like on the Amelia head. I'm just going to keep on playing with these, as I said before. I don't exactly like how they look here, so you do have to do quite a bit of playing with it in proportional editing. until they fit your head correctly. And you can go back to your edit and edit as much as you want if you don't like how your edit looks with the head, the new head eyes. I don't exactly like the savvy eyes on the Sculpt, but obviously they do improve them a lot usually. I just don't exactly think that this sculpt that I just did is my exact type of sculpt. But I really do enjoy sculpting. I do have to play around with it for a while, so it is completely okay if you don't get it the first time. Um, there's always trial and error with these things. And again, you can always come back and edit it. If you want your eyelashes to be longer, I'm sure there is a eyelashes toggle. You can go through and search for it. But for me, usually I'll just grab the eyelashes and I will select them one by one and I will elongate them. And the way that I would elongate them is I would obviously separate them by selection, edit mode, and I'd start selecting all of these. The way that you can select them more easier is going into X-ray mode on the top. Press C and just start holding and clicking. If you accidentally get like the bottom lashes, you can hold middle mouse down and obviously erase them. To get out of the click mode, you can press right click. But since I just did that, I'm just going to grab all of these and do connected only on proportional editing. And I'm going to elongate them on the y-axis, so S, Y, and just start dragging. I'm not sure if I did that on symmetry mode, but obviously that's how you do it. And when you're done, you can just grab all of your counterparts, press J, Control J, shift click whatever you have loose that you remember that you separated. Click the separate mesh, the head mesh, Control J, like I had made an example of before. And the way that you're going to figure out if they're all joined together after is grab the armature bones of the head and press J, or not J, G, and just move it around. And if anything is left over, obviously you can grab it, join it, and that is how you sculpt. I hope I helped quite a bit. If you have any questions, you can ask in the channel in my Discord server. Thank you. Bye-bye.